First task is to solve 5x plus 7 equals 4x. So our first step in our list, clear fractions. But we don't have any fractions. The next step in our list here is to make sure that any parentheses are cleared legally. We don't have any of those. The next step is if there are like terms sitting straight on any one side of the equation, you want to combine them. Well, all the x's and the numbers are in each separate place here and here. There's no combining like terms that needs to be done. Our next two steps are getting the x's on one side and the numbers on the other. And we're going to do that by addition and subtraction. Okay? And so we have two things we're going to need to do, and it doesn't matter which order we do them in. So what do you want to do first? That will get us closer to that step of all the numbers on one side, all the letters on the other. Okay, what do we do? Subtract 5x, you said? Ooh, you made me a liar. Because if we subtract 5x, I have this prejudice of liking to see the numbers on this side. And there's a point this semester when we're dealing not with equal signs, but greater thans or less thans, that having the variable on this side is kind of useful. Keeps us on the straight and narrow. When we do that subtraction, we've got 7 equals negative x. Are we done? No. So we need to get x all by itself, and that actually has a number in front of it. That number really is -1. And so how do we get rid of that -1 and find out what x is equal to? Divide or multiply, either way, by -1. And you end up with -7 equals x. Let's check it out. 5 times -7 is -35. -35 plus 7 is -28. Meanwhile, 4 times -7 is also -28. It checks. Number 40 is almost the exact same problem. What are you going to do first in number 40? Subtracting the 4x is what's going to make everything good. So we don't have any parentheses to clear. We don't have any fractions to clear. We don't have any like terms to gather. That's fairly simple. We end up with x this time equals 3, and then we're done. Now on to the one that gets its whole side of the board, because I have the feeling it will take a few steps. Okay? So let's go first step. What's the first thing we need to do? Get rid of the fraction. Get rid of the fraction. How do we get rid of that fraction?
Multiply each side.
Multiplying each side of the equation by 3. So multiplying this side by 3 is going to ultimately get rid of this fraction. We can't just multiply one side, we've got to multiply the other. And now again, remember, you can do one thing or the other with this side. We can either multiply 3 across the top here. 3 times 2 is 6. 6 times t plus 9, we can distribute. Or we can cancel out the 3's. The whole reason we chose to multiply 3 was to get rid of the fraction. So let's go that direction. The bottom line is you don't do both. You do one or the other. And so now I've got 2 times the quantity, t plus 9, equals t minus 8 quantity times 3. What do I do next? Distribute. So tell me what to write to get rid of these parentheses using the distributive property. So we have 2 times t plus 2 times 9, which is 18, equals 3 times t plus 3 times negative 8, which is negative 24. Okay. What's another thing we can do to make this problem more simple?
Let's add 24 to 18.
We can add 24, not just 18, but to both sides of the equal sign.
Oh, yeah.
So where you got adding 24 from is all of a sudden this side doesn't have any more numbers if you add 24. And so I've got 2t plus 42 equals 3t. What do I need to do now?
Subtract 2t.
If I subtract 2t, then I've got everything on this side. Today is kind of weird. We have this variable on the right side of the equal sign in these first 3 equations. That's not usually how I do things. But the idea is find the value of x that makes it true, or find the value of the variable, in this case t, that makes the equation true, and we found it. The equation 42 equals t makes it obvious what works here.